Hello friends. So we have of fortune. This is our third lecture on of fortune. What is fortune? What are the external circumstances that make a person fortunate? And ultimately it depends on the person himself. Whether you should become fortunate or not, you are the person to decide. That is what Bacon says. Continue with that. Sentence 10 onwards. Therefore, if a man look sharply and attentively, look sharply and attentively means if you put in your efforts properly, he shall see fortune. For though she is blind, she be blind, yet she is not invisible. So we have stopped the last class with the Cato Major. We saw that Livy, the Roman historian, said that wherever he was born, wherever he was put, whatever situation he was in, he would come out fortunate. Why? Because he knows how to look sharply and attentively. As justice is blind, so it is said that fortune is also blind. She, fortune, capital F, personified. So, but at the same time, she is blind. Means, who becomes fortunate when, why, no answer for that. That's why she is blind. There's no logic, no explanation. But she is visible, he says. Visible means she is not invisible. Okay? You can see her. That means if you look attentively and sharply, that means again if you work hard. It is your 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. The way of fortune is like the Milky Way. That is the Milky Way. What do you see on the Milky Way? There you have a cluster of stars, thousands of them in a knot, K-N-O-T, like in a knot, staying together. Like that, a person becomes fortunate depends on a cluster of events or circumstances. One alone will not, but a cluster is required. That is, a number of circumstances is required. The way of fortune is like the Milky Way in the sky, which is a meeting or not K-N-O-T, not of a number of small stars, not seen asunder. Asunder means not separately, but together they are. Not seen asunder, but separately, and but giving no light together. You can see each one is shining. Each one is twinkling. Not all of them twinkling we can't see. We don't see that. But one by one is twinkling. At the same time they are all standing together. Circumstances that will make a person fortunate is like that. You cannot say all these circumstances together. But at the same time each one helps. Like the stars shining in the Milky Way. The Italians note some of them, such as a man would little think. So Italians, they have got their way of expressing this situation. The Italians note some of them, some of these causes that makes a person fortunate, or some of the circumstances that make a person as fortunate, such as a man would little think. We may not even think in that way. And what do they say? When they speak of one that they cannot do amiss, they will throw into his other conditions that he has poco di moto. This is a little fool. When you find that a person is fortunate, lucky, he can't find any reason why he became fortunate or how he became fortunate. Then they will say that the reason is he is a fool. In him there is a fool, or he acts as a fool. That's the reason why he has become fortunate. The Italians, when they speak of one that they cannot do amiss means when they speak of the circumstances of which they have no explanation. They have no explanation for that. then they will throw into his other conditions that he had a poco di moto. That means a little of the fool. When you cannot explain why a person has become fortunate, you don't find any such grand qualities in him. But then what happens? Then they will say, he has a little fool, he is a little of fool in him. And certainly there be not two more factual properties than to have a little of the fool and not too much of the honest. Certainly there be not two more factual properties. Is that it is a fact? Because you cannot express it. If you are a little of a fool, surely he says. And if you are too honest a person, it is very difficult for you. Or it may not be possible for you to become fortunate at all. But you can be a little of a fool. Little of a fool means a little bit of dishonesty. That is it. You cannot 100% a perfect natures. That is fully honest person who do selfless work. They forget themselves, then sacrifice their life for their king or their country. Such people will not become fortunate. You should have a little fool in you. Little fool in you here means you should be a bit selfish. Only then you will be able to become fortunate. That is, therefore, extreme lovers of their country or masters were never fortunate, neither can they be. So if you want to become a fortunate person, then although there are circumstances, another important point is that there should be a little of a fool in you. Fool in you means there should be a little of a slippery character in you. Or you should be a bit dishonest. Then otherwise what happens? You will be more Catholic than the Pope. Or you will be more patriotic than the king. Such persons, what happens is they sacrifice their life. For some time people may remember it, and then people will forget it. Understand that? That is what it is, little of a fool means. And then next sentence he explains that if you are, therefore, extreme lovers of their country, or masters, were never fortunate, neither can they be. If you are a selfless, absolutely selfless person, you work day and night for your country, or your master king, then you are not going to become fortunate. You will die as you can say, sacrificing your life. That's all what will happen. And then he says, for when a man placeth his thoughts without himself, outside himself, without himself means outside himself, only for others. When you are working only for others, without yourself, means without any selfish motive, he goeth not his own way. He will not be able to go his own way. His own way means he will forget his aim. He will forget his goals. And if you forget your goals, how can you become fortunate? So don't be more Catholic than a Pope. Don't be more patriotic than a king. Understand? Otherwise, if you are always thinking your thoughts are without yourself, means outside yourself, not about you. Say you are selfless, then what happens is, the result is that you will never be. You will forget your way and you will never be fortunate. And then he says, so far it's about one point, that is, what is it? That a cluster of events are required for a person to become fortunate, just as the Milky Way, the stars in the Milky Way. Each one is separately shining, but at the same time there is an aspect of togetherness. Exactly like this. But there will be different causes where each one is different, but at the same time they all work together to make a person fortunate. Another is that there is no explanation why a person becomes fortunate. But the Italians say, if you have got a little of a fool in you, that is, as you can say, ultimately selfishness in you, you can become fortunate. And therefore, a person who always thinks without himself, that means other people only, such people can never become fortunate, because he forgets his way, he forgets his aim when working for his king or his country. And then he says, there are two kinds of fortunes. One is hasty fortune, the other is exercised fortune. Hasty fortune means fortune is thrust upon you. Exercised fortune means step by step you build up. And that is a hasty fortune maketh an enterpriser and remover. And a hasty fortune maketh an enterpriser and remover. That is what is remover means. Overnight he become fortunate, then what he will, it's almost sure that he will become a spendthrift and he will spoil the whole thing. See, the French had it better, entreprenant or removant, but the exercised fortune maketh the able man. If fortune is thrust upon you, so I will tell you, some rich man or rich uncle, it happens like that, no children, but he's a multi-millionaire, he dies. And in his will it is written, this all my wealth will go to him, will be inherited by my, my nephew. Alright. In that case, what happens? You sleep, get up in the morning, you sleep in the evening as a pauper, get up in the morning as the richest of a man in that locality. What will happen is that he is bound to waste his wealth. Why? Because he hasn't done anything for that. But on the other hand, a person who exercises means step by step he develops. He will be an able person. The other man will be, he will waste it. And he will, sooner or later, will become again a pauper. Why? Because as far as he is concerned, his fortune came to him without any effort. But here, the other man, exercising person, means not physical exercise, but mental as well as hard working. For him, he must be an able man, and he will definitely come up as able, he will prove himself to be able man, and also he will prove himself to be a successful person. Fortunate. Fortune is to be honored and respected, and it be for her daughters. So there is a third point today. First point is cluster of events like Milky Way. Second is, if you are hasty, if you get fortune without any work, hasty, it is thrust upon you. You are not going to, it won't last for you. It won't last for some time. But if you are exercised fortune, hard work, put in sweat, definitely you will be an able person and it will remain with you for a long period of time. Then he says, fortune has two daughters. Sorry. One is, says confidence, the other is reputation. Two daughters here means you have got two benefits. Sorry, two benefits. One is confidence, so you have plenty of money, bank deposit, flourishing business. And what will happen is you will feel that I am somebody. So that confidence is that you can say now rich people. Then reputation. Reputation is people will speak good of you. Sorry, you have plenty of chance to donate, to be charitable, to support big enterprises and so on. Then that is reputation. For those two felicity breedeth the first within a man's self and the latter in others towards him. So these two benefits, felicity is it. These two benefits, what will they do? They will first within self-confidence. Confidence, you will feel self-confidence, self-respect. The other is, he says, respect towards you. One generates respect within you. The other generates respect in others towards you. One is within you, the other is others towards you. So these are the two benefits of a person who becomes fortunate. So you have got 3 points today. What is this? It is said that fortune is blind. But if you look attentively and sharply, you can see, like capture the nature. Capture nature. And that again means you are the maker of your own fortune. This is the events or the causes or the circumstances that make a person and many, and that is compared to Milky Way. We have got cluster of stars, but each one is shining by itself. Not the whole cluster giving you light, but each one is like that. There are many circumstances, but for some reason they work together to make a person fortunate, rich and lucky, you can say. Listen. And then he says, you have got why some people are fortunate, while some are unfortunate. Fortune is blind. Sometimes there is no reason for that. But the Italians say, that particular person is rich or fortunate because there is a little fool in him. That means he is a slippery personality. You see, or we can say he is selfish. And therefore he says, if you are very honest, extremely honest, you are always thinking about other people, say your country, your king only, forget your God, you cannot become fortunate. You cannot become fortunate because you are not thinking about yourself. Another point is that, and therefore it says, extreme lovers of your country or your king or master cannot become fortunate. And then says, hasty fortune and exercised fortune. Hasty fortune, the fate of a hasty fortune is that it will be wasted by the person because it is thrust upon. The fate of an exercised fortune is it will last for many, many years. Throughout this lifetime, many generations, because it has been that fortune has been won by hard work, so that will remain. A third point today is that fortune has got two daughters, two benefits. One is confidence, the other is reputation. Confidence, it will help your self-respect. Confidence works from within, your self-respect. And reputation works from outside. Other people will show interest in you. So these are the two benefits of a person becoming fortunate. I think you are enjoying my classes. Explanations are clear to you. So you should share, you should share and subscribe. But before you leave today, please go through these times. Very tough for us. We are fighting against a virus, a killer virus, and so do our best. Hope for the best. The day will dawn for us to come together again. Now what is meant by do our best is here. Use soap for washing, sanitizer for disinfecting, wearing a mask, and keeping distance, helping others, poor people, especially suffering people, then wishing people well, speedy recovery, and travel less and stay home. So these are the things that we should do our best in this climate or situation. But if you protect yourself, you are protecting others also. Understand? So be alert, be academic, spend your time in a constructive way. Bye, have a nice day.